I bring bad news from Kuttenberg. Eric's soldiers and the town rabble have torched the Jewish quarter. Fortunately, we saved most of the people. But I doubt they can form an alliance with us now.
Fuck. Where are they now?
Samuel and the rabbi took those who survived to Colleen.
Shit. We have to find Dry Devil and Capon and decide what to do next.
Samuel said he wants to be around for that, and we should wait for him.
I see. But if he's gone to Colin, he won't be back till tomorrow. Oh well. At least we'll have time to get everything ready.
All right. I'll come tomorrow then.
Henry! You have no idea how glad I am to see you alive and all in one piece. I was really worried about you. I prayed to Our Lady the Protector to watch over you in Kuttenberg. It's good she heard my pleas.
Thanks for putting in a good word. It definitely came in handy, because it wasn't nice at all. Lots of violence and death, countless foes. We could have easily kicked the bucket any moment.
God damn! What happened there?
It didn't look so bad at the start. We actually arrived in time and urged everyone to flee. But some of Eric's cutthroats got inside the tavern and murdered everyone there. Before we'd finished with them, a great mob gathered outside and struck against the gate. And it fell.
Oh, fuck! That sounds like a right massacre. God damn it. I should have gone there too. I could have been some use at least.
I'm always glad to fight by your side. But you wouldn't have changed anything there. There were too many of them. And when the whole street was thronged, there was no stopping it. All we could do was try to hold back Eric's people as long as possible, so the locals could flee to the synagogue. See, there's a hidden tunnel inside it, leading out of the city.
Fucking tunnels! Ugh. But thank Christ for them. What about Liechtenstein?
He's fine. And he managed to get those mysterious documents of his out. He left with the survivors for Colleen.
Praise God. He's from an old and glorious house. It would be a dreadful pity if he got left behind. The main thing is you got out. I was afraid I wouldn't be able to thank you properly for coming to Malashov for me.
No need to thank me.
I beg to disagree, my brave and faithful companion. First and foremost, be it known that if you should ever similarly find yourself in captivity, I swear before our Lord Jesus Christ that I shall come for you as you came for me. And secondly, I have something here for you. A truly knightly reward for your knightly deed. A hunting bow that has no equal in the province. I hope it'll brighten your thoughts after all those horrors. It can fell the mightiest buck deer and enchant many a doe. And besides, it has attached to it an enlightening history.
I'm honoured. Thank you, friend. Just a moment. This bow looks familiar. I believe I saw it among Margrave Yob's things.
Good heavens. You really don't miss anything, do you? When I found out that Yobs would gladly leave me locked up, it got my blood up. So, to pay him back, I relieved him of the bow in Raborsh, and it was immediately clear to me that that bow should go to none other than you.
That is certainly just, I'd say.
I knew we'd see eye to eye. It'd be great to try that bow out right away. We could ride out together on the hunt. Wine, bacon, wine, the deep woods, a quiver full of arrows, wine, shoot some deer and celebrate with wine, like we used to do back home.
We only went hunting together once.
Yeah, but it was memorable. Don't tell me you wouldn't like to do it again. But first duty, then some fun, eh? You'd better be going.
Can we start the meeting? We don't have much time.
Aye, we're all waiting for you. Right, gentlemen. I think it's clear to all of you what a shitty fucking mess we're in. We were caught off guard at Raborsh.
And they nearly fucking kill us all.
Yes, and they attacked the Jewish quarter.
Thanks a lot for reminding me. I almost forgot.
At least Henry here and Kubienka got most of the people out.
That's true. Good work, men. How did it all go down?
Well, to tell the truth, we were lucky as hell. We got there before it all started in earnest. That's why we managed to get those people out.
Lucky my arse. We gave those bastards a thrashing. They thought they'd loot and torch the whole place, but we scared them shitless.
It is nice that you found my people's suffering so entertaining. But what I want to know now is how you all intend to avenge them.
Well, what do you have in mind?
We shouldn't give up. That's the main thing.
Except that Sigismund has the League of Lords and a whole fucking army. And what do we have? Fuck all! Come on, lads. Jobst will bring his army soon. It'd be fucking mad to try on anything big before that.
It might take weeks for them to arrive. Von Bergov will have found and caught us by then. We have to get rid of Von Bergov. It's because of him that we're in the situation we're in, after all.
You mean in the shit, Sir Hans? No need to mince words.
Von Bergov's too powerful. We don't stand a chance against him. But it was Eric who led the attack on the Jewish quarter. He's the one we should strike at.
But that wouldn't do us much good. Besides, who knows where the bastard is now? No, Sir Hans is right. We should get rid of von Bergov.
That fucker is Sigismund's right hand. So we'll chop it off.
Why kill him? You know what ransom we can get for that bastard.
Are you all fucking daft? Von Berger was holed up in Malashov, so unless any of you can fly, we can't get to him.
Oh, that's true. To take a cost like that, we'd need a dozen men, ladders, and maybe also a trebuchet or cannon.
There's no maybe about it. We'd certainly need a cannon.
So we steal the one von Bergov used at Nebakov.
Well, why don't we just steal all the silver from the Italian court and buy our own, eh? Use your head before you open your mouth.
Hang on. Maybe Janosch's idea isn't all that bad.
How do you mean?
I recently sent Catherine to spy on Sigismund's military camp near Opatovitz. She told me von Bergov has his cannon stashed away there. But it seems things are getting a bit out of hand there. So the Prague regiment he's in charge of is going to move it to Sedlets. And it might not be that well guarded along the way.
So we'll steal it, right? We'll wait till they go through some ravine, and we'll shoot at them from the rocks. The way you did to us before Nebakov.
I see you've learned something from me. But it's not that simple. What we need is for one of us to get amongst the Praguers, so he can keep an eye open and tell us when they're moving out.
And if we succeed? What then? There's 5.5 of us. Even with a cannon, that's not enough to take Malashov.
There's not much we can achieve on our own.
But show me the fool who'd want to join us.
There's always a few mercenaries around, right?
And how are you going to pay them, eh? I sure as fuck haven't got the coin.
That's enough! Von Bergov has to die. Painfully, and above all, as soon as possible. And if there are not enough of you, this might help.
Well, well. That's a sight for sore eyes. Why the fuck didn't you show us that earlier? We could have saved ourselves a lot of blathering.
Where did you get such a fortune? After what happened?
People in Kolin decided to help. They are looking after our refugees and want to send everyone a strong signal that we will not be silenced.
Ah, so that's why you were so eager to go there.
But we can't take it. Your people will surely need every groschen you can get your hands on now.
Drop the courtesies, please. All I want is to get von Bergov at knife point.
If you will permit, monsieur, I might be able to contribute. I know a few mercenaires in this part. They may not be la cavalerie royale, but for such a purse, they will gladly tear Malishov down stone by stone.
Ah, a company of mercenaries, a surprise attack, and a cannon in reserve. We could do something with that, couldn't we?
No, not so fast. We don't have the cannon yet.
Then we'll fucking get it. We'll find a good spot for an ambush and send someone into the camp to spy on them. What about you, Henry? You'll get yourself recruited into the Prague regiment, and when they take the cannon to Sedlitz, you'll send us a message via Catherine.
Ah, I was afraid you'd never ask. I can just see the look on von Bergov's face when we point his own cannon straight at it.
That's settled then. Henry will go to the camp. Catherine will tell you all you need to know. You'll find her in the bathhouse there. In the meantime, Ada here can go to Malishov and find out how von Berkov and his people are stationed there. But look, don't touch.
Za kogo ty mnie kurwa masz?
A lot of soldiers need a lot to eat. They'll have to stock up.
I'll go hunting. This tavern's a bit crammed for my liking as it is.
And what are we going to do?
We're going to prepare a warm welcome for the Praguers.
What do you say, Sir Hinek?
Well, what the fuck are you all sitting here for? Didn't you hear? The fun's about to start!
Henry, come here. I need to talk to you.
Oi, you! Come here! Where do you think you're going?
Into the camp, of course.
Oh, aye. They can't wait to see you. Look here. No strangers are allowed in, so turn around and sod off back to the pile of dung you crawled out of.
Why don't we make a deal? I'd like to take a walk around your camp, but my purse is really heavy, and I'm tired of carrying all that weight.
Oh, if it's too heavy for you, I could help you with that. It's a Christian thing to do, ain't it?
Here you are.
But don't draw attention to yourself. And if anyone stops you, we never saw each other. Is that clear?
Crystal clear.
God bless you, sir.
What happened at Nebakov after the Praguers took the fortress?
You're asking me?
No, of course. I know you weren't there, but maybe you heard something. You know what goes on, right? I only remember that diabolical shot. Nothing after that.
That must have been really terrible. I heard the shot all the way from Troskowitz. I'm afraid all I know is when they took the fortress, Von Aulitz's men hanged everyone they found there. I'm sorry, but most of ours got left behind there.
There was this healer called Clara there.
A girl of yours?
No, I don't know her well. But she was very kind to me. I suppose now I'll never see her again.
Poor girl. May God forgive her sins and grant her eternal rest. You have to live every day like it's going to be your last. That's all you can do in our trade.
Do you know if Michael, the adjutant, survived?
I'm afraid I do know. Zhishka said the shot killed him on the spot.
Did you know him?
Aye. He was a good man. He saved my life once.
I didn't know that. Do you want to talk about it?
Not now, thanks. Some other time, maybe.
Thank you. That's all.
I'm sorry I can't tell you more.
No, that's all right. Thanks. Ah, there you are.
Henry? What are you doing here?
Zhizka sent me. Is there somewhere we can talk? In private, I mean.
Oh, by Christ. Oh, you've come up with another plan, haven't you? All right. But you better come this evening. We're too easily seen right now.
May God give you health, sir.
What's a priest doing in a military camp?
Whatever he can, my son. Whatever he can.
Do you serve mass like other priests?
I serve mass and give blessings just like my brothers in churches and parishes. I can also officiate at marriages and administer last rites. I reckon you can guess which is more common here.
Do you care for the wounded? Priests and monks do that sometimes, don't they?
Nothing like that. We have blacksmiths and bathmaids for that here. And if something happens to the nobles, we have good surgeons. And then there's that learned foreigner. Bah!
Who's the foreigner?
His name is Musa, and he says he comes ex-Africa. You can't miss him. He's as different from us as a man can be.
Does something seem strange about him to you?
That foreigner may understand medicine, but he worships a foreign god. He prays to him on the ground several times a day. He doesn't drink ale, only rarely eats meat, yet he can't keep his eyes off our women.
Do you take part in the fighting?
Vivere militare est. But no, I'm a chaplain, not a warrior. But no matter if you're a beggar or a lord, there's no way to escape the horrors. And in a place like this, it's easy for people to forget about God, or at least start to doubt.
Do you serve King Sigismund directly?
I serve our Lord, but the king sometimes calls on me for confession.
What could the king possibly have to confess?
You don't actually expect me to tell you that, do you? That's between me, the king, et Domine Noster.
It is raining again? What kind of land is this?
So it's raining a bit. That must happen where you come from too, right?
Rarely. But a lot of other things happen there.
Christ almighty. Are you alright, sir?
Here we go again.
It's just that you look...
Muscular, wise, wealthy.
No, that's not what I meant.
I know what you meant. I have had this conversation at least 100 times. Have you never heard of Prester John or the Christian Kingdom of Axum?
Yes. Our parish priest talked about that.
Tell me then, how the people in those stories are described. Not exactly like you. Am I right?
But I thought that was just...
So you see, it is not. Musa of Mali is my name. Scholar, explorer, and physician. I run the camp infirmary.
My name is Henry, sir.
Welcome then, Henry. Do you need anything?
You said you're an explorer.
I did indeed. From Timbuktu, I went to Holy Mecca. From the Emirate of Granada to Venice. And from there to the court of Sultan Bayezid of the Osmans. Until I ended up at the court of King Sigismund.
Where is this Mali? And what's it like?
Similar to your country, yet completely different. You mine silver, we gold. But in our country, it would never happen that we allow foreigners into our mines. Overall, it is safer in our country. Nobody will waylay you on your journey. And we treat women with greater respect and set great store by learning.
Well, it's not all that bad here, though, is it?
I admit that there are some things I envy you for. Like what you can do with stone.
And how do you like Bohemia?
Do you want to hear the truth? Or should I praise it to high heaven?
The truth. You don't need to spare my feelings.
Then, all I can say is that this muddy hill is about the only thing I have seen of your country. And that has not made much of an impression on me. But there is still time. Perhaps I will have the good fortune to see more beautiful sights.
What is Mecca like? I've heard people from all over the world go there.
Mainly followers of the teachings of the Prophet Muhammad. Praise be his name. But the journey is dangerous. I was robbed and arrived in the city as a pauper. Fortunately, I was helped by a couple of my compatriots. But even so, I did not spend long there. Let us say that I was foolish then, and foreign customs took me by surprise. I went to Cairo, where I learned geography and law, so that I would be better prepared the next time. But I never went back to Mecca.
Why not?
I would rather not talk about this, my friend. All I can say is that there are a few rich men and their beautiful wives, who I do not want to meet again.
You were in Granada? Where is that?
Go west from here until you reach the sea, then south to a place called Peninsula Iberica. But I would not go there if I were you. The magnificent Alhambra Palace is forbidden to Christians like you. It is a pity in any case. Such a beautiful and rich country, yet bathed in so much blood.
Blood?
Yes. Sultan Mohammed must constantly repel attacks from the north. That is why I started studying physics, in fact. I wanted to make an impression on the Sultan because swords and cannons are not for me. Let others cut off heads. I can sew them back on again.
Where is Venice, in fact?
You do not know, my friend? Educate yourself a little. It is not far from here, on the other side of the Alps. Remember that learning is like a garden. If you do not tend it, it cannot bear fruit. Venice is an incredible city that floats on the sea, like a huge stone ship. People from all over the world go there to trade. I help them as a translator, especially for Christian envoys from Ethiopia on a pilgrimage to Rome. If only you could have seen their glorious arrival in the city. Their procession stretched from the port to the city center, and they had live leopards as a gift for the king of Venice. But I did not stay long. I, who was accustomed to the Sultan's court, being asked to live among sailors, out of the question.
How did you come to be with the Osmans?
By complete chance. In Venice, I joined an expedition that was heading to India, but we were attacked by pirates. Fortunately, I was saved by Sultan Bayezid's warship, though it did not seem like good fortune at the time. You must understand that there are not many of my countrymen among the Osmans. The last time was probably in the days of Mansa Musa. But the Sultan soon found out that I had lived among Europeans, and I could talk to all the envoys who came to him. So I became useful.
So why didn't you stay there?
Because we were about to be overwhelmed by the Golden Horde, led by the butcher named Timur. I had quite enough of war in Granada. So when envoys from Hungary came to the Sultan, I managed to persuade them to take me away with them.
What's Sigismund's court like?
I would also like to know that, my friend. But I am stuck here. One would think that the king would value physicians and sages who have traveled the world. But no. He did not even make me his personal physician. He prefers to trust your quacks and sent me here.
It's reckless to speak about Sigismund like that.
I do not think so, my friend, since it is unlikely you will ever get a chance to complain to him.
Why did you leave your country of birth?
That is a very personal question, and we are not that well acquainted yet. Forgive me, but I would rather not talk about it. Not now, at least.
I'm new to the camp. Could you show me around? If you don't have too much work, that is.
Well, I suppose it will be all right, if I am not here for a while. At least I can practice your language. You use some strange phrases, you know? but that does not matter now. Let us go.
I saw an arena in the camp. When will there be a tournament?
Firstly, I would not call it a tournament. Rather, mindless hacking. Not even a Chogan is so terrible. And, to answer your question, there will not be any. The commanders wisely banned them.
Why did they ban the tourneys?
Because it went too far. Instead of matching skills, people settled scores with each other. They killed each other from rage and also from boredom. Since the tournament was banned, I have a lot less work with mending fractures.
What did you mean by mindless hacking? It's a tourney, isn't it?
Merely dumb violence for its own sake. It is not chivalrous like Pharisea.
What does that mean? Furiazia?
Pharisea, the skill set of an Arab warrior. Where I come from, every fighter must be able to ride a horse and take care of its injuries and illnesses. In addition, he should also be able to hold his own when fighting with a spear and a sword. And of course, excel in archery. And above all, he must not be a coward, but on the contrary, an honorable man.
Furasia sounds to me like the chivalry of every good knight. Maybe with the exception of that horse medicine of yours.
Really?
But a good Christian knight should also know how to dance, play chess, and write poetry.
Very interesting. It is a pity. I have not met many like that. Those are all true wisdoms. Also in the name of Allah.
What's that Chogan then?
A riding game. Very hard and dangerous. Two teams of riders with wooden mallets try to get a leather ball into the opponent's goal. Whoever does so more times wins.
And what's so dangerous about that?
When the mallet lands on your head. In any case, nothing teaches you how to ride a horse better than Shogun.
Could you show me round the camp?
Again? Though it is true that it did not go too well last time, did it? I suppose you had more important things to do, but that does not matter now. Let us go. I am sorry that I cannot show you more, but I am sure you understand that there is not much to see. One is almost ashamed to call it an infirmary. Do you not think?
That's true. I thought King Sigismund would take better care of his wounded men.
Unfortunately for them, my friend, I suppose he has bigger problems than keeping his army healthy and fighting fit.
It's lucky he sent an expert like you here, though.
Was that praise or an insult? I cannot tell. I do not think it fortunate in any case. Someone with my knowledge, and all I do is treat diarrhea and broken bones?
Well, a camp like this is a waste of your abilities. An uneducated orderly could take care of the handful of sick people here.
And you would like to take over from me? I could find another job, though it is true that you do not seem to be any great sage. I suppose you do not know what a real infirmary should look like. But do not worry. There are more cheerful places in the camp.
Always welcome here.
I am sure something will take your fancy. This part of the camp is mainly for humans. So if you are looking for one, he will be either here or near the bathhouse. We will take a look there too. Do not worry. Over there is the pen where they used to have tournaments, until the captains banned them. But that is a long story. Speaking of the captains here, do you know who's in charge overall?
I've no idea.
You should put that right there. What if you come across one of the commanders and bump into him by mistake? He might have your back flayed by a cane. I would not like to have to stitch you back together. The camp as a whole is run by Sir Grozab of Bohumil. That is a village somewhere in Transylvania, as far as I know. He is an interesting man, I'm sure. But he has a lot of trouble with the camp.
Dunish,
He tends to be, as you say, grumpy. Then there are the humans who are commanded in battle by Cheritan. You will not meet him very often. He often has meetings with the king himself. And Sedlets. He is not a very cheerful man. But he seems a fair-minded commander. And he is an outstanding archer, it seems. How about you and archery, my friend?
Well, I don't want to boast, but I'm a pretty good archer. I would happily take on your Chertan.
Really? That sounds like a spectacle that I would perhaps even pay to watch. Perhaps. Although I successfully avoid weapons, I have to admit that archery is not just a skill. It is an art. Well, there is enough of that. What were we talking about?
You were telling me about the commanders here.
Ah, yes. The camp captains. As I said, Sir Grozab commands the camp. Cheritan commands in battle. And the third one joined us a few weeks ago. Dietrich Katz. It is Prague Artillery Regiment. It is a pity you will not be staying for longer. Dietrich is good to talk to, if he is not drinking too much. And over there is our bathhouse. It is not a sight for sore eyes, my friend. And the women, of course. Not this way. Ah, a man should keep reminding himself that zina, what you call fornication, the shameful deed, opening the road to other evils. By the way, what about you and women, my friend?
Well, there's one here I think about. But I'd rather not talk about that.
Why? Are you afraid that I will steal her from you?
No, it's not that, but I'm still not sure if she likes me as much as I like her.
I am sure she does. You will see. That is the way of the world. Our Lord Allah, Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, creates us in Paris and grants us love in our hearts.
Careful!
So that we may love another.
Yeah, I suppose you're right. I sometimes think I ought to settle down.
Do it. It is definitely a nicer life than in such a camp as this. Imagine. A roof over your head instead of a leaking tent. Food cooked with love instead of a gruel cooked on a campfire. And at night, by the way, your chosen one. Is she pretty?
So beautiful you can't help but stare.
All the more reason to marry her before someone else does. So, in this part of the camp, you see the tents of various mercenaries from Germany, Poland, Hungary. In short, everyone who came to fill their pockets. You can have items repaired by the smith, and if you're hungry, the kitchen is over there. The food would please you more than me, I think. Treating me tender. I simply cannot eat it. Do you know where the food is truly great? In Granada.
Careful!
So much food. Sweet pastries, fish. In one banquet, the cooks use more spices than the entire country in a year.
You've been to Granada?
In the court of Sultan Muhammad VII himself. That is where I became a physician. That was when Granada was attacked by Martin Yanez de la Barbuda, and I did not want to die in some battle. So I found a safer way to be useful. You know, I have done a lot of traveling, my friend. From Timbuktu to Mecca, and from Granada to Venice, and now here. But nowhere has the food been worse than here.
I'd like to try some foreign delicacy.
That will be difficult. Local inns serve nothing but porridge and old bread. But maybe you will see the world one day. And find out that there are more flavors than just salt and honey. But your country is beautiful, all the same. And up here is where Katz's company of Targe artillerymen are billeted. To the great displeasure of everyone else in the camp. I must say, you can see why. This is the best spot, right next to the camp. And when it rains, all the filth runs downhill to the humans and the mercenaries' areas. Here is the pillory. May Allah. If you go around the hill, you will come to the camp shooting range. I recommend visiting it. The humans must be born with a bow in their hands. But I will not escort you that far. I do not like to leave the infirmary unattended for long. Alaka Anda.
You there, lad! Aren't you here for the requisitioning?
What about it?
I need to requisition supplies for the camp from the locals. Grub for us, fodder for the horses.
Where do you want to get the supplies?
We haven't been to Bohumil in a while. I reckon they can't wait to see us.
Won't the people resist?
They will, but fuck all good it'll do them. We'll chase them out of their houses, bring in the cart, and take whatever we can.
And what if something goes wrong?
That'll only happen if we take our eyes off them. Then there might be bloodshed, but usually not ours.
Who's coming along?
Me, and they usually send some humans along because people are afraid of them.
That's not much.
And that's why you're coming with me. But don't worry, I already sent a couple of blokes ahead to get everything ready. I reckon they can handle a few peasants.
I don't need to hear any more.
I'm glad to hear it. But it's too late now, it's getting dark. Come back tomorrow. The sooner the better. We'll leave before noon, otherwise we'd only be in a rush.
I'm here.
Come. I know a place where nobody will disturb us.
Where's that?
Stop asking questions and start undressing.
You want to talk here?
You said you wanted privacy, didn't you? If anyone sees us here, they'll think you're just another customer. And relax a bit. You're as stiff as if you were waiting to be branded.
How am I supposed to relax in this situation?
Come now, Henry. Don't say you've never had your back scrubbed by a woman.
I have, yeah, but it's just different with you. It feels a bit weird. After all we've been through together.
Oh, come now. You don't have to be bashful in front of me. Even about what I think I see in that tub.
Well, the water is pretty cold.
Of course it is. So, tell me quickly what you're doing here before you shrivel up entirely in the water. You say Zizka sent you?
That's right. It's about von Bergov's cannon and the Praggers who have it. I hear they're going to move it to Sedlec.
Aye, they have it. What of it?
We want to steal it on the way.
Have you all gone mad? Do you know how dangerous that is?
I know. That's why Zizka sent me here. I'm supposed to infiltrate the Praggers and make sure everything goes smoothly.
So what do you need me for?
Information. When are the Praggers going to take the cannon to Sedlec?
That's what you're supposed to find out, isn't it? But it looks like they got held up for some reason. Sometimes I hear them complaining they should have been long gone by now.
Where is the cannon now?
In the upper part of the camp where all the local captains have their tents. They've put up a palisade around the entire hilltop. And the guard at the gate doesn't let just anyone in. And what's more, they say the whole camp's gunpowder store is there.
And you think it's in the storehouse there?
That's the only place it can be. I haven't seen it anywhere down here, but they won't let me into the upper part.
Do you know anything about the cannon?
Not much. I've heard they call it the Finger of God, and it costs a fortune, but that's all.
Who's in charge here?
That's a pretty complicated question. But in a nutshell, there are 3 main captains here. They run the whole camp. Sigismund is holed up in Sedlets with his toadies and doesn't take much of an interest in what's going on here. The Cumans are under the command of a fellow called Chertan. Then there is Grozaf, who runs the camp. And then there are the Pragas, led by Dietrich Katz.
What is this Chertan like?
He's the commander of all the Cumans who marched into Bohemia. Sigismund officially gives the orders, of course, but it's Chertan they listen to. I've met him a couple of times. He's a tough fella, but his soldiers are loyal to him.
Who's this Grossav?
He's in charge of everything here. He's a nobleman, but don't expect him to act like one. They say he ran up debts and fell out with half the royal court. So Sigismund holed him away here instead of taking him to Sedlitz. Watch out for him. You know how it is. The worse off a man is, the pushier he gets.
This Katz. Who is he?
He's in charge of the Prague Artillery Regiment. You should know him, in fact. It was him and his men who attacked Nabokov that time.
That Horison who nearly killed us all.
Calm down. You'll get your revenge soon enough.
Do you have any idea how I could infiltrate the Praggers?
The best thing would be to join up. There are never enough men. But it won't be as easy as it might seem. They won't let you go up and see cats just like that. But down by the shooting range, you'll find a fella they call Crow. He's a corporal in the Pragas. You'll know him by his big black moustache. He's Katz's right-hand man. So I'd try my luck with him.
But what if he turns me down?
Then I suppose you'll have to keep bothering him until he changes his mind. What else?
And once I've joined them, what next?
Find out when they're supposed to go to Sedlitz. And above all, why they're still here. And once you've got it sorted out with them and you're gonna all ride out with the cannon, I'll go straight to the Devil's Den and we'll get to work.
Well, it all sounds pretty dangerous. If I say the wrong thing or someone recognizes me, the game will be up. I could do the kiss for luck.
If you don't mess up, you'll have 1,000 kisses. But work before play. Is there anything else you want to ask before we get started?
Do you know anything else about the Praggers that might come in handy?
Not really. They're artillerymen, as I said. And their pay is a lot better than the others. So they aren't too popular around here. That's all I know. They drink, play dice, and go to the baths just like all the others.
What's it like here? Should I be afraid?
Not really. But I wouldn't call it peaceful here. You know what it's like. Humans here, Pragas there. Couple of noblemen and a bunch of mercenaries who want to fill their purses. All hot-blooded and all hating each other. Apart from that, it's lovely.
Is there anything I should watch out for?
Your mouth, mostly. You know what you're like. If you give the game away, you're a dead man. Just try and act normal. They get up to a lot of drinking, riding, and archery here. Now and then they fight like cats and dogs, but the captains have things under control for the moment. Although
what?
There's a rumor going round the soldiers that there's a spy here. At first, I was worried they were talking about me. But it seems not. Be careful.
That's all I need to know.
Get out of the water, then. You've been in there for ages. Though I have to admit, you've scrubbed up nicely. Maybe I should wash you more often.
As long as it's always free of charge.
Actually, there is something you could do to repay me. But that can wait. Enlist for service first, soldier.